Yo, what's good people? This your boy Sean J, representing Debonair Millionaires. Today, I want to talk about before you get rich, you should know this one thing about being rich. I guess this is the dark truth of being rich. Let's get it. You're probably thinking like, what the hell is this guy talking about? The dark truth of being rich. Isn't it when you're rich, you get to spend your money and do whatever you want to? Isn't that the goal? And yeah, partially you can spend your money and you can do whatever you want to, but there are certain things that will happen to you that I think you should consider. You know, as you become rich, there are things that you cannot bypass, but they are things that you can prepare for if you know they're going to happen. So this video is for those who are, making the moves to become that person, to become who they want to be, whatever dollar amount that is, or euro amount, or whatever that is, however much money you want to make. This is for that person. I need you to prepare in this certain way. All right, so let's get it. All right, so we already know that money can buy possessions. Money can also give you time. But there are a certain number of things that money cannot give you, and there's one thing that I know for sure that money cannot stop. All right, but I'm gonna prepare you for this, right? So let's go into what money can not give you first, right? All right, so let's go into that. So let's go down the list of what money cannot buy. My number one thing that money cannot buy is courage. Now you're probably thinking, what the courage? Okay, let's think about this in example form, right? Say you had a group of friends that all wanted to go skydiving. They're all some daredevils or something like that, right? They all want to do something crazy for, New Year's or something, right? You might have the money to go ahead and get those tickets to go skydiving on New Year's, but when it comes down at being at that door to jump out that plane, will you do it? Money can't give you courage to jump out that plane. You might talk big talk up until you get to that point. Only you can change who you are. So my first example is courage. It cannot let you build courage. Another example of courage, let me just give you all two instead of just one, is if you got tickets to go to a supermodel show, right? Supermodel show. You had the money to get front row seats to see whoever supermodel is important to you or whatever, and you're a guy just trying to meet some girls, You're a guy just trying to meet some girls, right? After the show, you get the backstage tickets to go meet the girls or whatever, right? But that doesn't give you the courage. Money does not give you the courage to open up your mouth to talk to none of them, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, money gets you at the door. You can get at the door to jump out the plane, but you have to have the courage to do that. So money, number one, cannot give you courage. So don't expect that if you have this dollar amount in your mind, that cannot build courage for you. You have to build it yourself. All right? Get that? Okay, so second on my list of what money cannot buy is discipline. My example for discipline would be somebody who's rich, and wants to become a rapper. They want the fame of a rapper. So they could probably be put into the best studio with the greatest producer and still not make a hit. They could probably make 2 or 3 songs, maybe a whole album, but that's probably it. But none of those songs will be a hit and nobody will pay attention to them. Now, why is that? It's because they do not have the discipline. Most rappers, you would say, probably make 100 songs before they even, somebody starts to notice them, right? Most of them, just like how they played basketball or whatever sport they played before they got into rapping, they had to have so many hours of doing that thing before somebody even started to notice them. So it's just the same in everything, right? For you to make a transformation into something else, you have to have the discipline to do so. That NBA star who's trying to become a rapper is just emulating the rappers that are out right now. And that doesn't show his true character of who he is as a rapper. You know what I'm saying? So money can get you in the door, but it can't get you to cross the threshold of being disciplined to be in that room. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, that's number 2. Money cannot buy you discipline. All right? Okay, so third on my list of what money cannot buy, and that is generosity, right? Money, just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean you want to give it away, right? There are certain people on this earth who don't care about anybody else. They know that they have the opportunity to change other people's lives. They can change a whole economy if they wanted to, but they rather just hoard the money and drive a Honda Accord. It's a game to them with the money. And that's just how it is. There's people who will see a whole civilization, don't have no shoes to go walking 5 miles for some water, some hot water or clean water. That's places in Africa, places in Asia, places in Latin America where they have no shoes or no running water, or all that different things. But all that person can see and all that person knows is America sometimes, and they see that some people in America do take advantage of our system of welfare or different things like that, where they can get help to supplement their lifestyle, right? And they see that and they think that everyone on earth is like that. So there is nothing that person can do other than experience something else. Money does not help that person if they do not go to experience other countries to see that there's actually poverty and there's people in bad situations that they cannot help. Money cannot help you to become generous. Only you have to build your experience to know that you should be generous. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing. Let's get to it. Okay, so my last thing on my list of what money cannot buy is love. Yeah, you probably already knew that one, but let me go into depth about this, right? You can't buy anybody else's love, but you can't even force yourself to even love, right? It's one of those things where you can only nurture a relationship only if you have the ability to nurture that relationship and put the love necessary to gain the love from that person and gain the love from yourself. If you don't have that within you, you're not going to fall in love, they're not going to fall in love, and love is not going to happen. It's one of those things that has to be within you, and you have to be ready for it. You can't get past it, my guy. You have to build it within you first. You have to first love yourself so you can give out the love to everyone else. At the end of the day, if you cannot work on yourself and love yourself, nobody's probably going to love who you are. So you have to love yourself, and therefore you can then love somebody else. Okay. So now that we know what money can't buy, let's talk about what money can give you, and you have no choice over, right? Money can give you these things very easily, and you don't have to put any really work to gain these things, right? I have 4 different things for you, right? One of them is jaded, right? Jaded is basically like you have too much of something and you can become bored, so you're basically jaded, right? That's what that basically means, right? Yeah, that definitely happens. You can see it happening. Like you've watched all the shows on Netflix, you've done everything you wanted to do, and you've met with all the people, you went to all the shows, and now what else is next? Think about those billionaire lifestyles. What else is next for them if they can do everything? They just gain more money. At a certain point, it becomes a game after that. But that's just number 1. Number 2 is escapist, right? Money can definitely make you an escapist. Like, you may not want to pay your country's taxes. That is an escapist. You're trying to leave that country, or you're trying to not pay the taxes. You're trying to escape that life. You're trying to escape the matrix that we're in right now. And that's understandable because everybody's trying to do that. But at the same time, it can make you a major escapist to the point where you don't even want to be a part of any social society around, And sometimes that's good. Sometimes that can be bad, because it can lead to, loneliness. It can lead to, well, let's keep on going, right? That was actually my next one, right? Money can actually make you feel lonely. Just because you're trying to escape the society, then you could always be judgmental on other people. When you have money, it comes to a point where you're just judging everybody around you because you don't want to be screwed over. You probably have already gotten screwed over, or you probably don't trust anyone because you know that everybody wants your money. You get those calls, or you get the scam calls at the same time where somebody is always wanting your money. Once you get money, people are always after you, and you always have challenges. So you later on become selfish sometimes. It definitely happens. It happened to me. But let's keep it going, right? And my last thing, as I already said it, is you can become lonely. It's a one-way road to desperation. Not even desperation. Let me take that back. It's a one-way road to being depressed. You always hear about those rich people who need to go see a psychiatrist because they're depressed, right? Is this because money does this, without you even noticing it. Like once you gain money, you want to hold it, you want to keep it, because you don't know if you don't want to go back to being living in a life where you have to always money manage at a point where it's just like, man, I can't live like this. You want to live a life of freedom and sovereignty, and that makes sense. But it can lead you to be lonely, because not everybody will be on that level to take care of that much responsibility as you. You know what I'm saying? So on your way to being rich, watch out for those 4 things. Once again, they are being jaded, an escapist, lonely, and selfish. Those 4 things right there is something that you can prepare by just having mental management, doing spiritual things, going outside, speaking with more people, being generous if you can, learning more about people instead of judging people. Those are certain things that you can do to help that from happening to you, where you having to talk to a therapist like every week. So I hope that helps with those 4 things. Okay, now let's get to the nitty-gritty of what the dark truth is about becoming rich, right? Okay, so let's break this down, right? As you develop your mind to become rich, there's a lot of things that's going to change about you. Your values will change, your habits will change, your patterns will change, and especially your desires will change, right? There's nothing you can do about it. The old you will disappear as you become rich. You will be a whole new person after that transformation is done. Now, the question for you now is, what happens to the people around you? Now, some of you may not care about the people that's currently around you. Maybe you just want to disappear from you, and that's okay. It's probably best that if you don't care and you want to leave these people, leave. You don't need to be around them anyway. But if you do care, right, you need to find a way to motivate them also. If you want to keep them in your life, you need to find a way to motivate them also. And like I said, it's hard to motivate people, right? But the only way I think that you can actually motivate people is to have a common goal. You know what I'm saying? You can't just say, hey, man, you need to work on your stuff, man. You got to have a goal where, everybody meets, at the top, You can't have a goal where they're over here and you're over here. Of course, you're going to split off if you do that type of thing. But if you have a goal where you meet here and here, watch your dream go faster if you meet here and here. Like I said, if you meet at a common destination, that will help them be encouraged to do something, because they feel like they're on the same level as you. If you keep them motivated to keep on that path, say, hey, I'm gonna see you there, right? You're gonna be there, right? And then they're gonna stay motivated, and then you are their motivation. They keep you around, you want to be around, and then that's how it's gonna be, But if you have them going on, if you just say, yo, just do it, just do whatever you feel like it, they're gonna eventually go their separate ways. You're eventually gonna go your way, they're gonna go their way, and that's just how it's gonna go. But if you want to keep that person in your life, you have to have a common goal down the line. It has to be a destination to look forward to. You have to keep that in the back of your mind, saying, hey, we can both reach this point, Other than that, you're going to lose that person. You're going to lose every person around you. And that's the dark truth, man. As you become better, as you become richer, you're going to lose every person around you. So the best thing for you to do is to gain a common goal with that person that you want to keep in your life. And then that makes them motivated to work on other things that will get them there too. You got to keep them there. You got to be the leader of the situation, because at that point when you meet up, you'll actually have somebody you trust. As you become rich, you're going to figure out that there's not a lot of trustworthy people in the world. That's the dark truth. You're gonna run into so many dirt bags out there that it's just like, man, is this really what it's about? You're not gonna know who to spend your money with. You're not gonna know who's using you. You're not gonna know who's having, why are people there in your life at a certain point? And those people who don't care about the people who are there right now, you just got some bad friends around you. Maybe, hopefully, I hope that you get some people that you can trust and want to gain some type of friendship with, because it gets lonely at the top. All right, so that's my message for today. Hope y'all like it. Hope y'all understand it. Like I said, being rich isn't everything, but if you listen to what I said here, you can at least prepare for the certain things that are coming your way as you become rich. All right, so I'll let your boy.